Hey, it's Niels Han Dynasty coming to you from Sleepy Catville. On a better note, actually, I'm coming to you from my basement. And I'd like to talk to you a little bit about nothing. I'm not going to do much talking, other than to let you know this is a little bit. I had to find out who this Dutton guy was. I never heard of him. Apparently, he's somewhat of a big deal in the Australian government. And this is him getting tough on China.
Time in Washington to help speed up cooperation in AUKUS between Australia and our allies. Is this what he should be doing at this time, in your view?
Very much so. And look, we're 9 months into the consultation phase now. The agreement was struck under the coalition government. We really fought hard. We negotiated a very difficult discussion, but we got, I think, the best possible outcome, and it's laid out for the Labor Party now to implement, and hopefully they don't get in the way of it. I hope that they can really condense the timelines, because the very clear sense that I've got out of our discussions with the administration here is that things are deteriorating in relation to China not improving. The Americans understand that, and it's a very bipartisan position here as well, Kieran. The Republicans are talking the same talk as the Democrats. The Biden administration is very, very frank in their assessment, and as I say, there's nothing that's been indicated to me that would say that this situation is improving, and I think we should be very mindful of that over the next few years.
Now, given that, do you welcome the reboot in relations with China? We've seen ministerial level discussions resume, the foreign minister with her counterpart. Is that encouraging to you?
Yes, and we welcome that, but at the same time, we can't continue to talk whilst China continues to amass nuclear weapons.
Anytime a politician says, yeah, that's good, but he just said, yeah, it's good to make the conversation sound good. The but is the problem. China's amassing nuclear weapons, and
China is growing its naval fleet at the same tonnage rate of our entire Royal Australian Navy fleet every 18 months. And I might note, at a time when most of the world is providing support, depleting their own stocks to give the Ukraine a fighting chance against Russia. So it is a concerning time, but if Russia is just talking this out, if they're going through the motions and we hear the normal propaganda, then that is concerning, and the government should be asking of China that if they're conducting talks in good faith and negotiating in good faith, that a sign of that good faith would be pulling back on the rapid expansion of their military arsenal.
Despite the concerns about China's military build-up and their Taiwan flashpoint, is it the right thing to be having the dialogue where possible?
Look, as I say, I'm fine to say that if the government's got a dialogue and it's a productive dialogue, then of course it should be pursued. But if we're just being handled, then that's not a productive use of time. The Australian government needs to be serious in the discussions, and we need to ask China to explain the human rights abuses and to explain what's happening in relation to their military build-up, the attack on the P-8 surveillance aircraft only a couple of weeks ago, the surveillance of one of our ships within that contested area. I mean, these are all reasonable questions to ask, and I'm not aware that any of them have been asked by Penny Wong or by Richard Marles or indeed by the Prime Minister.
So you're saying it's okay to continue the dialogue, but you want to see some greater clarity about where China is heading?
Yes, I think it's not unreasonable to ask China
yeah, just political rhetoric now. Basically, have you heard about China attacking the Australian ship? I heard crap about that. That's news to me. Seems like things are a little bit more heated up there than what we're not being told. I'm trying to move my head up so the light doesn't get you guys in the eye. But yeah, I don't know. Keep your eye on Australia. They seem to be starting to make a tough stance against China. As you heard, China is expanding their navy the whole size of the Australian fleet every 18 months. Well, I'm a big fan of history, and anytime things weird happen, you look back in history, see if you got anything, you can relate to, so you can get some sort of understanding of what's what, who's who, where, why, what, and all this other crap. And last time military is built up was before war. CCP's never had a war. I don't care what anyone says. China has. China's had many a war in the great history of the 2,000, 3,000 years of China. CCP isn't that 2,000, 3,000 years. I think they came around in, well, they were around in World War II. So they probably came around in the 1930s. And as far as they go, this Chai guy, the leader, he's already assassinated all of his party members that were could stake claim to his seat. He already took them out. So there's no one else to take over the CCP once he goes, and he's getting old. They're building up their navy. I don't know, man. I'm just seeing a lot of crap over there. But I don't see where Taiwan's the target, because, you building up your navy the size of a country every 18 months. Why go after an island that's 1/50th the size small as the country whose fleet you're making every 18 months? But that's just my thoughts. I think I did no, I didn't think I did it. We had some sort of a space interaction with China, that the CCP China, and we kicked their butts in space. Already took care of one of their spy satellites or something like that. I didn't do a video on that because that might get me red flagged as well. Anyhow, I hope you guys enjoyed your time here with Neil and Neil's Han Dynasty, where I'm going to take over part of China. That's why it's called the Han Dynasty. Have a good night, guys. Remember, buy some silver and platinum every time you go to the store. Get 2 of everything where you'd only get 1. Be kind, helpful, and grateful, because your neighbors will be more likely to help you if you have been and are consistently kind, helpful, and grateful over you being a jerk. Because I know my neighbors that are jerks around here. I'll help them, but they gonna be last in line. The ones that are nice, helpful, and grateful, and kind are gonna be first in line. It's pretty basic, man. Be a good person. You guys have a nice night.